Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Stay that.
Do you think it makes a difference if your parent hasn't been in your life, but yet they're still alive, opposed to your parent is no longer here, so you just have to take what they instilled in you from the time that they were here, if they were a part of your life? Because like my father passed when I was 5, and I never felt like I'm missing a father, or I wanted a dad, or when my friends had their dads around, I never was like, wow, I really wish my father was here. And also, my mother and father, they were married, they were together, that's all I knew. And in just those 5 years, he instilled so much strength in me. He treated me as a princess. If there were any bad times, I don't remember it. All I remember was the good, right? I remember how firm he was, how strict he was, uh, how how I looked up to him, how he was my hero, how to me he was the finest man in the world, and the only man who came close to his looks at the time was Billy D. Williams, right? So I might be telling my age. I'm really 26. So it's like, you know, I but just like Shami said, I had daddy issues, but my daddy issues were, I don't need another man to try to be my daddy, right? So if a lot of militant men to me were like that, and I pushed them away. My father was in the Air Force, and I remember him when he talked to me, he's like, Danielle, da 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 da. And if a man comes at me with the Danielle, I'm like, bro, you're not my father. And I had my older brother who felt as though once our father passed, he was the man of the house now, and he has. And I was like, yo, bro, daddy's dead. I'm gonna need you to be the brother. Okay, we have a mom, and she's extremely strong, and we don't need anyone to fill his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he filled those shoes. He left his footprint. Let's continue. So and then I see people and they were like, I have issues why my father didn't want me, and a lot of that deals with the father who's absent from their lives, but they're still alive. So they're still holding on to something, opposed to, oh, my father passed away. You close that chapter,
Right.
because there is nothing else there.
Right.
So I think death to being alive, that has a lot to do with it too, with them in and out of your lives.
I
I know what, for me, like even going back to what I said, like when I look back at my relationships, like I never, like you, Danny, I never thought like, oh, I'm looking for somebody like my father, or I'm looking for what my father didn't give me. It took time for me to realize, like after having time to myself, it was like, yeah, this person was just like my dad. That's what chimed into my head. Like they have similar aspects that my dad would have. Like my dad is 100%. He shows chivalry to females all the time. Like he put them on this pedestal where it's like them above anything else, and he treats them with respect. Of course, like I'm not looking for somebody to be like my dad. Like to me, ew, my dad. Like no. But at the same time, you end up finding someone similar to your dad, and it's hard. It's the inevitable, like for it to happen.
Hopefully the stronger qualities of the dad, because it's like, I'm here to help you, babe. We're a team, not, come on, because you can't do it without me, and you ain't nothing, and talking down. It's like, nah, bro, I'm good. I can make a baby without you. You don't know what's going on today, so we do end up with our parents, and the sad thing is, whether we end up like our mothers, whether that's good or bad, right? Unless we consciously steer away from that, and we end up with men who are very similar to our fathers, unless they are bad and we consciously still, steer away from that as well. So it's hard.
I can say when I was growing up, I agree with Danny. I didn't really look, I wasn't like, oh, I miss my dad. No. I was just like, oh, my mom could do this on her own. Okay, I could do this too. When my mom was like, my dad laid hands on her, I was like, what you did? She said, I hit him back. I said, you could do that? You could do that? Girl, what? Like, so all this time we're growing up and I'm just like, okay, if my mom could do it, what do I need a guy to do it for? And I feel like that's where I get like this personality, this aggressive, like need
Empowerment.
to be by myself. Like, I got this. I got into a full-blown argument with an ex one time because I'm like loading the bags of groceries on my arm because I got this. He's like, let me help you, but I got it. And when I'm younger, I'm thinking back to it. I'm just like, okay, he was just trying to help. But from my perspective, I'm looking at it like you trying to say I'm weak. Like, I could do the same exact thing that you could do. Don't try to play me. And I feel like growing up without a father put me in a position to want to be a strong woman. I'm looking at my mom. I'm like, she got this going. She got this good. Okay, she's figuring it out. I can figure it out too. So yeah, I want a boo, but I don't want no boo to be controlling me. I feel like we need to be equal, but I need him to know like he has the power, but I'm gonna challenge him. Like, and I want to know he has it in him to challenge me back. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
No,
I don't want him to be like my father and get up and go when things get hard. We're gonna fight. Let's fight. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know you in this relationship to be in this relationship. I'm not really talking about like fighting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like to keep it.
Like communicate with me. Don't just leave. Don't throw hands on me because you can't communicate. Like, communicate with me. So pish posh, this that be gone. Like, I seriously be thinking like, if my father died, right? Would I be hurt? And I think I would be hurt because I wasn't able to show him how great my mom raised me and my sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even try to check in to see, because my mom is the sheep. Okay, she's the bomb diggity. So I'm like, that's probably why he has to. Yo, let me tell you something funny. Okay, so one time, right, I was on Facebook and
oh my goodness,
I think I told you guys this. I saw this girl who looked just like me. I'm like, screenshot sent. I'm like, girl, this was just like me. Her last name was Blanc and everything. Hey, do you know this guy named Blanc? And I'm like, she's like, yes, that's my dad. That's your dad. That's my dad, right? So I'm dead ass talking to this sister on Facebook that I've never met in my life. Who knows how many kids this guy had? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he didn't want to stay around with this family, he didn't stay around with my other two sister family, he didn't stay around my brother, why am I gonna feel a certain type of way for him? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? He doesn't even know that I'm feeling this way. So now I have all this feeling in me. I'm carrying around this load.
Right.
He's really nilly walking around like, yeah, I got kids, but I got kids. Energy done. Okay, so
would you say you saying that and us getting to know your personality each and every day that we speak, do you think that's part of your reason that you're so guarded in relationships and you have this like empowerment, like, I don't need you?
Yes,
I believe so. I would say so.
Why? Like, because I could do it. Like, I could do it. Like,
but knowing
I can't have a kid by myself. I mean, I guess I could have a kid by myself.
Yes, you can.
I mean, I can,
but knowing that now, like, hearing yourself say it, but knowing what you want, does that make you kind of step outside yourself and be like, maybe I need to stop doing certain things?
Like what?
I'm asking.
You know what? You're right. I have taken a step back, and I feel like I've gotten a lot more calm and patient. Like instead of me overreacting, whatever the case may be in a relationship, I feel like I'm more open to listening to what the guy has to say, because my interpretation of him in my mind might not be exactly what he is, you know what I'm saying? And I got to work with that because I'm choosing to be in a relationship with him. You know, I feel like we have like this image of how we want guys to be, and then when they don't meet up, we get upset. So I've just been trying not to feel the need that I need to check off every box.
Right.
And you need to be okay.
If you irk my nerve, I'm going to bye-bye because I don't want the stress. It's like, I feel like I don't want to deal with the stress. Like if I really want a kid, I can get a kid. I could literally bend over and get a kid. But I want the additional support. I want to know, like, I like the idea of having a father around. That idea in my head, I've never had it around, but the idea is nice. It feels nice. It sounds nice. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if I had a kid, would I want the father around? Yes, because I would like to see how my life would turn out with a father figure I shouldn't say father figure, a biological father in my kid's life. I've had tons of father figures in my life.
Okay. Jojo?
Bad. They good and bad. Boys, like, they good and bad. Men are men. Like, in the Bible, it dead ass tells, like, they really could go out and be like, willy-nilly, like, they're supposed to produce. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like,
No, I get it, Shirls. Like, for me, I was always a daddy's girl, right? I'm the only child, but I was a daddy's girl, right? So when they divorced, it was like, wait, what? What happened? He not living here no more? Like, what's going on? What? Why? You know, and I don't think I ever thought it was me, you know, because, like, I'm the shit. So I don't think I ever thought, you know, like, oh, my God, what did I do wrong? Daddy's leaving type of thing. But I remember, like, just feeling you felt like something was missing. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was always like, daddy, daddy, daddy. So when he was gone, I remember part of me kind of, like, I was upset with my mom, right? But then as I got older and start just looking at things from her point of view and just, you know, like, oh, daddy's coming this weekend. So it's just like, oh, you go by the window, wait for daddy. And it's just like, oh, he coming at 2? Okay, 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 8 o'clock, no show. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, you just start hating the person now, you know, because it's just like, yeah, you just start building resentment. And it's not till I got older, like, we kind of rekindled the relationship again or whatever, but that does affect a relationship, because for me anyway,
he wasn't there or why he kind of like fell back.
I mean, you know, they always blame the mom, like, and that's the shitty part, like, when dads or whatever, not all dads are like that, but the relationship doesn't work out, so it's just like, oh, I can't deal with your mom, she just always yakety yak, or, you know, whatever story they tell. So then you also start believing them, so you just start looking at your mom like, why are you so mean to daddy? That's why he don't come visit me, or, you know, whatever. And it's just like, this whole time, like, no, this man just ain't shit, you know?
Yeah.
So especially when you have kids on your own, that's when you really start appreciating, like, damn, yo, my mom worked hard. Like, she a hustler. She did a lot, you know? But it definitely affected relationship for me with men, because I ain't trust you. You wearing blue socks? And then you tell me, I'm like, it's like, yeah, it's blue. I see it's blue. But I'm like, nah, that nigga wearing red socks. Like, because he's a fucking liar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just won't trust anything. So I know for me, like, with relationships, men and, like, fathers, hell freaking yes. But I think for me, instead of looking for a man like my daddy, I look for the opposite. Like, I want no man like my daddy. You know what I mean? Because in your mind, you're like, well, my daddy wasn't there, so I'm gonna need a man that's gonna be there for my kids.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
I think when something happens, we always, at least once, blame our mothers. right?
Mhm.
Because it's like, why you let daddy leave, right?
Right.
Because I mean, it, my father passed away, and I blame my mother, right?
Mm.
She ain't had nothing to do with it, right? He
Right.
died from cancer,
Mhm.
but I blamed her because I felt, which is, I was 5.
Mhm.
Um, when the nurse came into the room, we was in the waiting room when she told us he passed away. She was white, okay, and my mother and my brother started to cry. Now my brother is 5.5, 6 years older than me, so they started to cry, or and I remember sitting there, and the nurse said, "Would you like to go see him?" We were in the hospital, and my mother was like, "No, I do not want to see him, dead on the bed." So I said, "Let me see him. If I go in there, he'll wake up." Okay.
Mhm.
And the nurses looked, and my mother's like, "No." And I was like, "If you let me go in there, he'll wake up for me. I don't know about y'all, but he gonna wake up for me." And she was just like, "No, that's not the last image I want my child to see." So growing up, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it was like, it's your fault. Because if you would have let me go in there, he would have woke up, right?
Mhm.
Because that was my 5-year-old mentality of, oh, and it was also on some, why you believe that white lady? She lying to you. She lying. And I was at the desk laughing. And my mother and my brother were crying. And I'm laughing. And I remember laughing, going, they're so crazy. Why they believe in this white lady? They don't know it. She don't know what she talking about. Like, she lying. She lying. Let me go in there like I'm magical, right? Yeah.
Right.
So that stayed for a long time, growing up, and when you close the door, you start cursing at your mother because she don't let you go up. Like, I hate her, I hate her, I hate her, and also, why I wish she would have died and not my dad, and what I'm
Right.
All
saying,
the harsh
because
things because
right, you
yeah,
don't have nowhere else to direct that hurt.
without the person
So
that's there.
exactly, you take it out to that person who cares for you the most, who loves you the most, and it's like, you're the reason why. If you would have, so I need all y'all back there to shut up. So it's just like, you know it's hard, but and then you also have the ones who daddy isn't there, can affect them in the spouse they choose, the sex,
Mhm.
um, just as much as you can learn from your parents. You can learn that's not what you want,
Right.
right, Jojo, in your parents. So it depends on which way you take it. Either I see this abuse and I know that's love. You know,
Mhm.
my father punched my mom. So if a man hits me, or my father punched my mother, punched me, that's not the man I want. So it's like, we can take everything that we learn, use it either
Right.
as a weapon, right? Or a weapon to kill ourselves, or a weapon to kill them.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know,
And it, even in the same sense of you saying that, like in relationships format, like growing up with my mom, same mentality. She was strong. She's independent. She could do everything on her own. Up to this day, I can admit 100%. I feel the same way. Like I could build a shelf. I could do everything on my own. I don't need a man to help me.
that's
As time
because your
goes
mother
on,
is 21. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yes, she is.
well, then I guess I'm still 15. So with that, no, with me looking at that, it also how she was just so independent. She also didn't have friends. So her it was always like, I don't need female friends. I don't trust females. Blah blah blah. So she had a lot of male friends. Now guess what? Guess how her daughter ended up? I had a lot of male friends growing up, but it was hard to have male friends and be in relationships because it was like these guys don't want to be your friend. They want to smash. Like that's it. And for my mom, anytime I had close girlfriends that come around, sometimes I didn't even want to bring my friends around because to her, she really looking. And then later, I don't trust that girl. And it's like, and if mom's right, it's like literally like, yo, she was right. So now if any friend that comes around, you automatically you're like, what my mom gonna say about her? What's gonna happen? And I 100% growing up, depending on how your parents were, it does affect your relationship with people.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to
Your
how
mother was right about those friends, wasn't she?
She was right.
Yeah, no, don't you hate that? I hate when they
hate
white. I told my mother she got a little, she be
Yes.
sprinkling little pixie dust on stuff.
I'm like, what you
My
gave
mother
her to
is
eat?
just like me. I'm just more boisterous. She's more, soft spoken. But she's the type who will yell at you in a whisper. Where I'll be like, yo, fuck that. Ah. And she'll be like this. I'm gonna need you to come over here. And you be like, right? And she always said, I don't know where you got your mouth from because I don't curse. I don't know where you got that from. Bruh, I ain't getting it from you, right? But, I'm like my mother so much that my daughter sees and she goes, me and you are not going to be like you and grandma, right? Because y'all crazy. But she raised me to be a very strong, independent woman, right? She always let me know, you don't need no man because you got your mama, right? So that guy be like, oh, I'm buying you sneakers. You don't need no man to buy you sneakers because if he buy you sneakers, he gonna think he owns you. What sneakers you want, I'll buy them. And I was like, ow, that's right.
That's what they will always tell me. My mom always told me that. So and there's one thing that also too, I feel like Caribbean parents, the way they raise their Haitian moms. I don't know about every Haitian mom, but my mom, okay, growing up, she would always tell me, don't let a boy touch you because you'll get pregnant, right? So, mind you, she installing that, she told me that faithfully. So now I'm in the 3rd grade. I'm in a fight with I'm fighting. I got into a fight with the boy. I'm scared to my life now. So I go to my sister, ask my sister, I'm like, Annie, how do you get pregnant? She's like, what? She's like, how do you? I was like, I was fighting with the boy and he touched me. She's like, excuse me? What do you mean he touched me? I'm said, if a boy touch you, you're gonna get pregnant. My sister was like, no. You see, like, why? She's like, what is? So I had to explain to her, like, no, he didn't touch me there. Blah, blah, blah. She was like, okay, so that's not how it happens. That's not how it works. But it's like, we believe our parents so much when they tell us these things that if we didn't have other people around us, we would have grown up to be dummies. Like,
yes, seriously.
Like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
Seriously. No, that affected me too, and not marrying
Haitian man.
I don't want to say that, but kind of.
Say it because
right?
I definitely did not want to date no Haitian man.
What? No. See,
no.
I didn't.
I did date a Haitian man. He cheated. He cheated.
Trini man.
No, I didn't.
He cheated.
Listen. I didn't say I wouldn't marry one. I didn't say that.
You sure?
I said that about a Trini man.
What I'm saying is, like, they would. Like, for me, she just would say all they want you to do is cook, clean, and wash their underwear, right? And I was just like, I ain't touching no man's drawers, like, and she would be like, you gotta hand wash their underwear, and I'm like, ugh. So I was just, in my head, I was just like, maybe I'll never ever marry a Haitian guy, you know what I mean? But that was just stuck in my head because she put that poison.
Nobody was ever talking about the red lipstick. You wear
red lipstick are for whores. I wear red lipstick all the time.
Red underwear.
Yo, I wasn't wearing that for a hot minute.
I couldn't.
It's true.
A hot minute.
No, but go ahead, Shills. You were gonna say something.
No, well, for me, growing up without a father, I concur with my sister. I didn't feel anything. I felt like there was nothing missing because all I saw was my mom, and I thought she's it. Like, I felt like she was such a big influence for me.
But looking at how you were brought up in your household, just your mom, do you think that affect anything in your relationships, friends and significant others?
No, you know, okay, it's interesting. Okay, it's interesting because with my child's father, he's always tell me that, you know, I'm not gonna be like he's not gonna be like his father, like and leave, and he's always gonna be there. And you know, he of course knew my father wasn't in my life, so when he shared that story with me, I said, wow, so you know, we have something, you know, in common, something that we can both relate to and grow from this together and be together and have something we can, you know, fall back on with each other and know that, you know, this we're going to build this foundation because we don't want to be like that, you know.
Parents.
We want to have two parents in a household. But those are just words, ladies. Those are just words.
Yep.
You know, actions of course speak louder than words, as we all know. So
Preach.
and then that, even with that, I don't know if I felt defeated. I felt like a little defeated because I was like, I'm gonna be. I felt like I did everything by the book. Like I went to school, you know. I went, you know, I did, you know, job, you know. Yes, I messed around with the boys, but that's what you do in your 20s. You live life.
That's right.
You know, I felt like I was doing everything to me the right way, and then
you are.
When I met, you know, again, my child's father, I thought he was it. I thought this was my, like, we were together. And it's interesting because prior to him, I was in a relationship for 4.5 years. Yeah, for 4.5 years, and I thought he was the soulmate. I thought this is it. This is gonna be it. But again, it wasn't that I didn't have no father figure that it affected our relationship. It's just that we had different perspective, and it just, you know, we just went our separate ways.
You grow.
Oh, I can't hear you too.
You're growing. You're growing.
Sorry.
Okay,
if you
girl?
notice what you notice what you said as far as
Mhm.
your connection with him, your connection was sort of the fact that he said he wants to be in his child's life. And that was something that you didn't want from your past, and you kind of connected to him based on that. So you, in a sense, it kind of did.
You're right. You know what, Toya? I see you reading.
Yeah.
Right between the
That
lines.
was the connection.
No, you're right. There is.
Too bad they're liars. Huh? Too bad they're liars. They're all liars.
We are liars, yes.
The
And when we're
10%.
young, we don't understand because we want to believe what we want to
Ooh.
believe.
Right? Then you hit it on the nose.
Yeah, I mean, because it's sad, because when they show you their true colors, we still hold on to that faded color that we thought we seen. And then we get upset with them when they hurt us. No, they didn't hurt you. You hurt your damn self. They told you and they showed you what type of person they were. And instead of you getting up and keep going, you stood, I can change them. No, damn it, you can't change them because right now you can't even change your mind. Right? It's sad.
Shame.
And unfortunately, we still have friends who are getting hurt by men that show their hand, but they refuse to see it. They see the hand, but they keep reading between these damn lines. Ain't nothing there. Look.
Yep.
But
we
they
3 for 3 right now. Three married, 3 single. We almost there.
Yeah, but guess what? Y'all not single, or y'all not being hurt, being blinded by something. No, but he said he good. He said he slapped me, but he said he's sorry, right? He said he ain't gonna never marry nobody, but he love me. He gonna be with me forever. So if he gonna be with you forever, then he marry you. But if you see what he's saying, like, just like you want to believe that positive, you have to believe that negative too, and make that conscious decision to. Because we all got them idiots, you know, some of us had kids by them. And, you know, some was smart and did not, right? So it is what it is, but I feel as though everything happens for a reason. There is nothing that happened that wasn't supposed to happen, whether we like it, agree with it, or whatever. So those two people who I had children with, guess what? They served their purpose.
Amen.
Their purpose was to make these other people here who have a bigger and better and promising future, right?
Amen.
I can't be mad at that. I could be mad at me for, I'm gonna hold on. Nah, but you gone.
Because you know what? Your blessing is in your kids, girl.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Exactly.
you heard that?
You served
your blessing is gonna be continued in your kids.
Thank you. Thank you. And guess who's missing out? You are.
You. Exactly.
You
are. Preach.
That's true. I remember, like, the relation when I was in that relationship, that I was in this relationship for 3 years. It was off and on. He was mentally abusive, and then he became physically abusive.
Mm.
It was like an off and on relationship. And every time, like, I we would break up, he'll come, he'll stalk me. And he's calling my brothers. He's calling everyone so we can get back together. He's at my job. He's at my house. So I'm like, all right, fine. He said he's sorry. All right, fine. I'm there. And he showed face where he's a good person for everybody. I didn't tell no one what I was dealing with in this relationship. So there was a shame. I'm like, it was for me. I was embarrassed to tell anyone during the time that was in this relationship what was really happening. So I had to tell myself, listen, I've never seen this kind of bullshit in the household that I was raised in. Why am I allowing this to happen to me? Why? Because you become so insecure, and then when somebody's mentally abusing you, and it's like you don't know. You just believe everything this person is freaking telling you, especially if you had things I said to you when you were younger, and now your man is saying it to you, so you're like, oh my God, maybe he's right. So it was just like to the point where after the second time he hit me, that's when I fucked him up. I left. I probably dated him up until I think it was during the hurricane, when we had a hurricane out here. It was up until then. I said, nigga, I'm done. Oh, censor that out. I'm sorry. But I said, mother effer, I am done. I know my worth and I am better than this. I couldn't. He stalked me for 6 months. You hear me? To the point where I was like, I could get a restraining order. I will call the cops, but I don't want to invite that drama into my life. I prayed for 6 months straight for this man to leave me the hell alone. He left me the hell alone. Up until 2 years after that, he's gonna call me on the phone, talking about come see him. What? Blocked. Period. And